Shenandoah in tow has whooped the Yankees and sent them reeling back across the Potomac River on two fronts. Now, the decisions that lay before us are really kind of summed up in just asking the question, what do we do now? We have a lot of time and space to work with. We're going to get into the details of that. Plus, specifically with the armies in the East, the Army of Virginia, I want to go back into a little bit of Army administration, a little bit of flavor work. Let's see maybe who deserves some promotions. I might bring it to you guys in the chat to talk and discuss amongst yourselves. Maybe we have ourselves a little bit of an interactive session about exactly how we might change the way the Army of Virginia looks. Maybe we give some promotions. Maybe we give some special unit designations. Let's look at seeing who has experience from the last battle that we fought. Of course, we're going to look in the West, too, because we've got important things to get to in northern Tennessee. We're outnumbered by quite a lot. Gideon Pillow did prove a lot of folks wrong in the last battle we fought, although we want to look at a little bit of his Army administration, too, because I'm not so sure that our man Blanchard, who has become so famous for his part in the recent Battle of Cumberland River, where we defeated another Union Army of the Mississippi that took one of our forts along the river. And by the way, that's going to be a part of the discussion and strategy formulation coming up here in just a second. What do we do with Blanchard? You know, we know the way things went with him. He didn't really, I wonder if he was feuding during the battle. I want to be able to check that a little bit better. But he really didn't get involved until I took direct control of his brigades and microed them into the battle. He was just kind of fiddle-farting around in the background. I wasn't quite sure what on earth was going on with him. We've got that to get to. We have plenty more. So much to jump into with tonight's playthrough. I went back and I looked at the save game, and I didn't get to a whole lot of the things that I wanted to try to get to in the last stream. And so we'll probably try and hit a bunch of that stuff here tonight. Of course, please, gentlemen, populate the chat. We're having a good time tonight. I see members in. I got Helica. I got Wilson Raiders is in. We have quite a few folks who are joining in already tonight, guys. This is a whole lot of fun. A whole lot of fun. Bleeding Kansas. Yeah, absolutely. General Fornicator, new member, is in. All these gentlemen who are men that earn and pay for the pleasure here at Alternate History Gaming, I thank you. Remember, click that thumbs up button for me, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell if you're on the mobile app. Hype the stream and the video, of course. Let's get in the chat, have a good time tonight. Don't forget about the VOD when it posts. I'd love it if you spent maybe 5 minutes with that. And then also, I do a lot of writing work. It's me. It's not AI. It's me. I write in the description below a lot of lore around each of these streams. I hope you appreciate that. I'd love you to give it a read. Also, there's a link to become a member for as little as $2 or $5 a month. $5 veteran membership gets you all kinds of cool exclusive access. Let's go through, as I bring my cursor to the lower right hand of the screen, the list that I had in store for tonight. We begin really with our strategy discussions in Virginia and over in the West, as well as in the far West. Tonight is the night where I think things might get real interesting as we get way out into the Indian Territory and areas north of there. Kansas. I want to start raiding with those troops out west, so I can't wait to dive into that. We've got campaign planning in Kentucky. There's an either-or in Kentucky and northern Tennessee that I want to talk over with you guys in the chat as we get going tonight. We've got the move we wanted to make with the fleet. We've got the Army of Virginia and Shenandoah administration, intelligence review, as well as policy talk. Okay, we're doing Militia 2 right now. We're in a manpower race with the Union. We'll get into kind of where we are with that right now as we move forward. I believe we probably will have one major battle tonight. That is my guess anyway. We've got plenty more to cover on the list as we go through tonight, but for now, I do believe we'll go cigar down and game up. Before I push the play button, I think it's worth just jumping over here to look at the aftermath. We have the Union Army of Pennsylvania that'll be on the run here shortly, guys. I'll be following this up. The question is, okay, how do we follow this up? We have a number of options, but there are things to go over quickly. I did take a look at the campaign map before we jumped in tonight, as I mentioned. There is one concern. The Army of the Ohio, 1 Ohio, 2 Ohio, 3 Ohio, 4 Ohio, 5 Ohio, 6 Ohio, 7 Ohio, 8 Ohio, 9 Ohio, 10 Ohio, 11 Ohio, 12 Ohio, 13 Ohio, 14 Ohio, 15 Ohio, 16 Ohio, 17 Ohio, 18 Ohio, 19 Ohio, 20 Ohio, 21 Ohio, 22 Ohio, 23 Ohio, 24 Ohio, 25 Ohio, 26 Ohio, 27 Ohio, 28 Ohio, 29 Ohio, 30 Ohio, 31 Ohio, 32 Ohio, 33 Ohio, 34 Ohio, 35 Ohio, 36 Ohio, 37 Ohio, 38 Ohio, 39 Ohio, 40 Ohio, 41 Ohio, 42 Ohio, 43 Ohio, 44 Ohio, 45 Ohio, 46 Ohio, 47 Ohio, 48 Ohio, 49 Ohio, 50 Ohio, 51 Ohio, 52 Ohio, 53 is steaming across Lake Erie, I believe, to land perhaps in Cleveland and then make its way this direction and perhaps press into Western Virginia. So that is a concern as we look forward. Let's take a look at the chat. We've got a lot of guys who are already getting in tonight. Yeah. Conscription, 100% agree. There we go. Now you guys are already thinking where my head's at. We've already got Wilson Raiders thinking on my plane. We've already got General Fornicator thinking on my plane. You guys know where we're at here, okay? So here's an opportunity for us, right? Washington, D.C. right here could be ours. I think we would have to be aggressive. I think we would have to take both armies and we would have to hit it. We'd have to come back over here while these two armies, the Department of Pennsylvania and the Army of Northeastern Virginia, were still recovering from the licking that we gave them just outside Fredericksburg when they were just trying to cross the Rappahannock River. We'd need to come over here and smash into them, drive them into the red and off to the north and maybe beyond D.C. And the hope there would be, I believe, that we use the Army of the Shenandoah for the most part in the effort. Because as you can see right here, it is the Army of the Shenandoah that remains in the green readiness. You can see it right there. Okay? They would be the ones I think we'd want to try to lead off the attack with. But that isn't the only idea that I have, pointing to what you guys were mentioning just a second ago. Now, one other thing that we could go for is to try to just milk what we can out of the Maryland iron industry, okay, and take the Army of the Shenandoah, let them pursue the Army of Pennsylvania out of here, cross at Harper's Ferry, come up here to Hagerstown, and just take this iron mine, camp the Army of the Shenandoah kind of around here, and just sit. Take this iron mine and bring those iron supplies back south for as long as I can get away with it. Okay? And then with the Army of the Northwest, come up around Cumberland and basically do the same thing, wherever the iron mine is here, up this way. Now, that would be 2,000 men deep in Northern Territory in Pennsylvania, all the way up here past Hollidaysburg and near this crossroad. And we likely would not be able to stay up there for very long. Like, we would really be milking it. And I think it would take us, on top of that, a good little while to actually take the infrastructure and the resource itself anyway. I was going to put that up for consideration and then attack with Beauregard's army all by itself in the orange, drive these guys out hopefully, and then have to recover here in Alexandria. That is another option. Let's jump in the chat, see what you guys are thinking about this here right there. I'm going to give that to you. I like that. B-E, aggressive. Yeah, I think we'll have to let that simmer just a little bit. We'll go ahead and bring you over to the fun part, okay? This is where I just want to go ahead and get moving, I think. So there's going to be some Army administration to do with the Army of Virginia, right? Let's get that, since that's the title of the video, right? The Army of Virginia. We're going to push play. We're going to push play, but we're going to get right into Army administration, so it's going to pause it again. Here we go. Beauregard's Army of Virginia, right? We were looking to see who has gained some experience. What we remember from the last major battle that happened near Winchester, right? We had McCulloch's division that actually did pretty well. Reynolds Infantry Brigade now has 1 star. That's good. Cooper, nope. Walton has 1 star. Remember, he did pretty good too. S.D. Lee would have, I think, a star if he hadn't performed so poorly in the very first battle of the war. Trippier, no. Bryan, no. But Early's brigade has 1 star. That's a good start. Yeah, I think that trying to lean toward D.C. is probably the smarter option in terms of just the situation we find ourselves in. And I'll go over that in more detail strategically here in just a moment. Let's go through the rest of these guys and check on experience real quick. Okay, then the other thing here in this army that we needed to look at was this perk right here. All right. So I'm always tempted to, in the beginning, go with flying column. Let's remind ourselves what this means. Movement speed and then maximum supplies plus 50%. So that helps us, basically helps us operate away from our supply infrastructure. And so I think this is kind of a good one for us to go with early on. We're already struggling with our spending, our government spending on buildings and depots. The number of depots that we're going to be able to put on the map, I think, are going to be kind of a precious few scattered across the South. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with flying column for starters for the Army. Technically, it will become a corps after we change our Army organization, of course. I don't believe I want to change. We may add a 5th division, I suppose. Yeah. The iron up there. I like the idea. So this is where you talk about the raids out in the Midwest. I think that's going to be something that's on our list, really. I want to see. I won't have 3,000 to 6,000 cavalry out that way, but I want to see what we can do with small detachments that are like Indian raiding parties, Indian warband raiding parties, and see how we do out there. The other thing with this army was to look at any perks for the brigades. The Army of Virginia. Because this is our best army in the field right here. Biggest and best right now. They've seen nothing really but victory since that very first defeat. Here, Traboo's guns, the Washington artillery. They will be a 24-pound howitzer. What Grand Battery would that do? The gunners trained to keep their aim when firing their guns rapidly. Bombardment accuracy plus 10. That could be useful for 24-pound howitzers, really. What's close support, though? When enemy lines are closing in, the gunners are trained to load 2 canister rounds to maximum effective point blank. Canister effect doubled, leveled up by firing canister. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't go with that so much. Skilled laying. I think let's do Grand Battery here. Only it's 3 guns. That also kind of doesn't make sense, but that's okay. Let's do that with the 24-pound howitzers under Traboo. LZ's battery, 24-pound howitzers. Okay, nobody else with... There we go. Randolph's guns get a perk. These 10-pound Parrott rifles will go skilled laying because that's a counter battery. Counter battery actually plus 10. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And we had, I think, with the Army of the Shenandoah, we also had some upgrades. But what I would like to do, I think, is add under McCown's murders. He's a captain. We'll promote him to major. Okay, and then we're going to upgrade these to 24-pound howitzers. All right. Okay, we'll have the Tar Heel battery with 6-pound field guns. No, we're going to make them 12-pound howitzers. Okay, and I'm going to test this army and see how well howitzers do, having more howitzers. Okay, and I think I would also like to add some reinforced artillery to this division. Let's have it come in from Georgia. Okay, let's go with a medium-sized unit. Let's do this. Those colors are good right there, like that. We'll go pants like that. Good. And those will be 6-pound guns. Walter Lane, Major Walter Lane, 2-star. Wow, he's actually pretty good. He's a volunteer. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to start using some more of these volunteer guys as they come up. We're going to sprinkle our professionals around the military best we can kind of as time goes on. And the other one here is to try to figure out, okay, how are we going to handle promotions is the question here, I would say. Yeah, so, right, those 24-pound howitzers, we have so many of them. We have so many of them. Look at this. Let's go. James, the South Carolina Artillery 12-pound field gun. Why don't we just make that 24-pound howitzers? See, the only thing I don't love about them is their 2.5 per minute rate of fire. The 6-pound guns, low accuracy, but they do send out lead a little bit more. However, we're going to upgrade the 24-pound howitzer with James battery as well. So we'll have 24-pound howitzers in Frost, Ewell, I think much of Magruder, yep. And then the rest we'll have in the reserve, the 10-pound Parrots and the 6-pound field guns for now. The Army of Virginia becomes that much more potent. The other thing I want to talk about, it's kind of like a home rule policy that I'm making. I think I want to go with it for as long as I can anyway, and that is I probably won't promote commanders until they've got like 3 stars. If I need the brigadier generals in order to form more divisions and corps, although major generals will usually take over corps, and if I need more major generals to take over corps eventually, then I'll start looking at promoting guys more quickly. But right now, we don't really have anyone. Walton, he's a brigadier general with 2 stars already. I think we eye him for a new division commander when we get there. But Colonel Breckinridge, he stays a colonel. All right. Any of these guys deserve promotions? Magruder. I would say Magruder, his division did really well in the last battle. Yeah, I'm going to wait on it. With these division commanders, I'll probably wait until they have 2 stars before they go up to Major General, because I think we're going to need more Major Generals for this army and others as well. Let's go to the Army of the Shenandoah real quick. And let's take a look at these troops. We have no experience. These guys are very inexperienced, except I do believe Pendleton's artillery starts off with 2 stars. They're 12-pounder Napoleons. Those are the best cannons we pretty much have besides the Parrots, so we're going to keep those the same. 6-pound field gun, Uji's battery of 6-pounders. Let's make those 24-pounders. Boom. Howitzers. Still waiting on Garnett's brigade, 9 more days, and that will bring us up to a total strength of, I think, close to 11 or 12,000 in the Army of the Shenandoah. And these eastern armies, that much more potent, that's for sure. We look pretty well, doing all right with weapons over here. Obviously, our infantry weapons are not up to snuff whatsoever. We're going to have to keep working with captured Springfield muskets and mixed muskets as we go ahead for a little while yet. And here I would say I want the Army of the Shenandoah to continue following these guys all the way to Harper's Ferry. Let's force march it. Let's make sure they go where we want them to go, because it looks like they're going to head up this way. All right, let's put these guys on an attack. All right, and then this, I think I'm going to have Beauregard and the Army of Virginia sit tight, except to move to here. Okay, we won't force that march. Jeb keeping an eye. Lee guarding here. All right, with the clock running. The next thing is a quandary out west. We are overnight. I will pause it again. I only allow myself to pause during the overnight. Since I did this, let's go ahead with the Army of the Shenandoah and let's get the perk done right here. Boom. Okay, we're going to go flying column with them as well. Okay, that's a good start, I feel like. I think I've decided this army, I don't want to risk going all the way the heck up here. I just don't think I want to risk that. I think we'll bring them back around Grafton and try to make life hard on whoever it is that's coming up there with the Army of the Ohio, as you can see here. They're on the move. All right. Now, out west. Okay. We have this siege that's ongoing now at Fort Watkins. Here's the deal, though. Okay, initially in the strategic analysis in the last stream, I dictated that it was more important to come over here to try to relieve this siege and knock the Army of the Mississippi back than it was to sit here at Nashville and defend from McClellan's army, which now numbers, the Department of the Ohio, 20,000 men. So they've got us 2-1 easy right here, okay? And also, oh, it looks like we're going to win this one in no time. Okay, so I think I will. I was thinking about whether or not we should move back to Nashville and counter McClellan, but I think we go ahead and I think we just wait, retake this, move on back to Nashville, maybe get a little cavalry garrison back in there, and we'll be solid back on the Cumberland River once again. And that may end up being kind of a theme thing, like we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But we need to give time for this army to reinforce. Okay, we now have Bragg, it looks like. 11,980 total troops now. We're up to 12,000. So we could fight against an army the size of McClellan's. We could have a battle. I would say we probably want to let's get some more artillery in this army if we can do it quickly. Let's get it from Tennessee. Yep. And let's make it artillery, Tennessee. Let's make it big batteries here. Ooh, I like that look. That's good. Let's do 2 of them. 2 new batteries of artillery. Both from Tennessee. Both are larger batteries. Boom, boom. Let's do that. Let's make sure with one of them. Wow, Walker is actually pretty good. Captain John Walker, volunteer. Major Wilfred Cutshaw. Let's replace him with a professional artillery commander. Okay, let's have a Captain Robert H. Anderson. I like him. He's fine. Okay, Anderson. Good, good, good. We'll start there. The next thing was a bit of flavor work over here, again with the Army of Virginia. And this is one that I was going to draw a little bit of inspiration from real history on. And that's to go in here and start looking at giving these batteries historical battery names. Oh, hey! Pickett, you're right. Yeah, so this is a good thought. Let's go over it. Let's go do this real quick. Because Pickett, right here, Army of Virginia, Army of Tennessee, right? So he was under Pickett, KIA, okay? We need to replace him. We can't call it Pickett's Brigade anymore. They're from the, we'll call it the Mississippi Brigade. Boom. All right, and then we got to replace Pickett with a infantry commander. Captain John M. Jones. I like that. He looks good. He'll be a colonel. So Pickett's Brigade will now be under the command of Colonel John M. Jones, breveted colonel. That is a good brigade. They've got a star. So there's that. That was the other thing, kind of look at who we have that's actually good over here. Still in the red right there. Okay, now let's go play. And then let's just jump back over here to the Army of Virginia real quick. And let's do this. Something I like to do. This is some flavor work that I just enjoy. South Carolina artillery sounds good. McCown's murderers is fine with me. The Tar Heel battery works. Let's call this, and let's go to my list. Let's call this the Bedford artillery. Bedford artillery. Bonk. All right, now let's go to Preston, and let's call him the Newmarket artillery. Newmarket Arty. Bingo. Tribou, the Washington artillery. I like that. LZ's battery. I just like that name. Winder's battery would be nice, but I'm going to change that. And I'm going to have that be... where are they from? Virginia? So, let's have them be maybe the... Nope. I would make them the 1st Richmond Howitzers. Can't do it. Richmond Parker Artillery. Richmond Parker Artillery. Arty. Boom. Like that. Okay, and then we'll do Randolph, Hampton's division, Hampton Artillery. Bingo. And so you're kind of respecting the men of the unit and not just the leader. Naming the unit in that. Oh, yeah, we'll be doing that. So, okay. Army of Virginia. Now, we got play going. There's an action I need to take. This was on my list. All right. There will be a number of different things that we do. We're going to go with the Raging Cajun Squadron. They're coming up here. We're going to be on a defensive patrol. And we're going to come, well, actually, raid. And we're going to come all the way up here with them. All right. And that brings me to way out west, where we're now in the orange, and can bring the army back to Fort Smith. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to see if we can't draw the Yankees in a little here. All right. Now, the Army of the West under Brigadier General Richard H. Anderson. Time to build a depot right there. Once that's done, we are going to launch north with them. Really want to believe this is going to be wrapped up soon. Want to believe it. Okay. All right, now let's review strategy real quick as we get to triple B minus on that depot construction. Damn it. Army of Pennsylvania is not leaving Virginia yet. Army of Shenandoah is going to come up and grab these iron mines before the Army of Pennsylvania can get there. Force the march, boys. You're in the green. And also, we need to, with the Army of Virginia, halt. Get into the pass. I want to be able to continue taking over Winchester. Right. Oh, it looks like we may not be. We are capturing field soldiers. Okay. Currently being captured. Large. Okay, got it. So because we're kind of on the outskirts, we're not going to be capturing it quite as quickly. That's fine. Let's take Jeb's cavalry and let's transfer it back into the Army of Virginia. Yeah. We will add a cavalry division after we bring it back. So Adams is going to... Okay, got it. Transfer, boom. Then this goes away. for now, and then Adams will end up giving way to Jeb taking over the division. Okay, we're losing control of Winchester, it looks like. So we're going to have to back up towards it again with Beauregard. I don't like opening these guys up to move on me, but they were in the red as of about, I think it was about a month ago. It takes a while to recover. Come on, boys. 83-17. Many months. Okay, got it. We were looking at information that was flawed because we were looking at the very beginning of this thing. So let's retreat. Okay, Fort Watkins ended with the Army of Tennessee retreating in good order. Yep. A vastly superior enemy. That's funny. 1 killed, 53 missing. That's not terrible. We'll just retreat back to here. We'll come back over to the environs around Nashville. We're going to let this fort go for right now. There's a chance that McClellan uses that to come up here and chug down to Fort Kimball. If that's the case, we're going to have to counter that and come back. We're in the red now because we retreated. We were in the orange before. We'll be immobilized briefly, but we should get back in the orange quick enough to get back on the road to Nashville soon, is what I believe. Yeah, that's a good question. That's why we need to go back, I think, and redo Winchester and re-get it. We need to liberate it. So let's go defensive and guard supplies. And there you see it's going back up again. Let's go defensive, guard supplies. Yep. Okay. And now we've got this iron. And we'll just camp the army right here. I think for as long as we can get away with it right here. We'll take Winchester back. And I think for the middle of July, soon enough, I'm probably going to leave a detachment here. Bring the Army of the Shenandoah back and then attack. Attack them here. I think that's what we should do. Okay, so we made that move. We're building the depot there. Good. All right, let's look at what else I had on my list right here. All right. We did that. Oh, that's right. We need to look at our intel. Boom. According to our intelligence sources and an analysis, the federal government is currently discussing the following policies. Militia Act 4. I don't believe it. All right, so the last time they said they were working on Militia Act 3, and then I got a newspaper headline that said that they had just gotten Militia Act 2. So right now they are just one ahead of me, but it looks like they're moving to Militia Act 3 and then 4. It seems like they're just trying to just infuse their armies with manpower because they've got the weapons to equip with. So they're just going to overwhelm us with manpower is I think the approach they're taking right now. They just completed trade warfare. Okay. 12 new brigades, 23,000 men. Yep. 7 new ships, we knew that. Okay. The enemy lost 2 high-ranking officers, including Abercrombie and Burnside. Wow. Okay, they're carrying out offensive operations. Very good, very good. Oh, here's something I wanted to go over. Okay, is the blockade of Virginia. This is important, okay? They've got the home squadron and they've got the flying flotilla that are just down here right outside Fortress Monroe, blockading within their radius all of the ports in Virginia, really. Everything in the Tidewater here that can send things out from the Chesapeake Bay past Fortress Monroe. Very historic move by the AI, I would say, or a rather historic move. So I think that's interesting. The effect that it has is catastrophic, frankly, to trade. We are blocked by 73%. We are blocked by, I believe, 73% here as well, all the way around. And that means if you click on the port itself, you can see the selling of stuff is in teeny tiny little bits and pieces, and we're not making too much money off of it. We are sending gold overseas at 758 per 0.1 pieces. I'm down with that. But that blockade is a problem. All right, so that leads us to, again, a reminder of where we want to go with our projects, which is, again, the casemate ironclads, okay, the rebuilt ironclads. We want to go, where are those again here? Rebuilt ironclads, okay? And that's going to take military money to get there. So I want to get to that fairly soon. We want our military subsidies to be a little higher in order to get there, and twofold. We want the military subsidies to be higher using Military 2, okay? We now have Militia Act 2 coming soon. When we finish that, we're going to go Military 2, and then we're going straight to conscription, baby. We're going right to it. That way we've got it, and I think we'll take a little bit of a hit in troop quality there. It's fine. I want to believe that we can fight well enough with slightly lower troop quality because we have decent, baked in military experience across our military right now. So we'll see about that. I love what you're saying there about Burnside. He lives on and all our side burns. Yes, indeed. Ambrose Burnside. I'm afraid he had one too many burns-sided or sides burned. Cost him dearly. 5.3 more days until we get Militia Act 2 and a new injection of troops. Once we get that, I dare say we will be reinforcing everybody. Here's their Army of the Shenandoah. Very, very small. Come on. Get this done with. Okay, once we take that back. Oh, I'm not sure where the Army of Pennsylvania went. Suppose we should put these boys. Yeah, they're scouting good. Okay. I bet you they're there around Cumberland somewhere. Maybe they went up that way to Pennsylvania where they belong. Yes, here we go. Treaty with the Choctaws and Chickasaws. These are the two tribes that are kind of holding out, right? The treaty ready to be ratified, perpetual peace and friendship, land never to be sold, boundaries defined. On July 12th, the treaty was signed between the Choctaw, Chickasaw, and the Confederate States of America. The preamble begins with the Congress of the Confederate States of America having, by an act for the protection of certain Indian tribes, offered to assume and accept the protectorate of the several nations and tribes of Indians occupying the country west of Arkansas and Missouri, and recognize them as their wards, subject to all right, privileges and immunities, titles and guarantees, with each of said nation and tribes under treaties made with them by the United States of America, and the Choctaw and Chickasaw nations of Indians having each assented thereto upon certain terms and conditions. The treaty, with 64 terms in it, binds these tribes to the Confederacy in its war against the Union, even if one of the main reasons to sign was protection from regional tribes. I think that's an interesting little caveat there. No, I don't think recruitment bounties is going to be doable, Fornicator. I think you're 100% right, sir. I think you are 1,000% right about that. Get this depot done, man. I cannot wait. We're going to probably head up to Topeka first. We'll come up through Fort Scott and Lawrence. We'll be raiding the whole way as a larger army. We're going to go to Topeka, and then I'm going to split off one force, and we're going to raid here. Split off one other small one. We're going to raid here. And then the rest, I'm going to send into Missouri, and we're going to raid all over here. That's the plan. And we're going to hope that we don't get caught. And every time they try to catch us, we're going to run away. We're pretty much all cavalry with that army, so we should be able to get away with it. Should be able to get away with it. We'll see. All right, Winchester's coming back over to the light side. Coming back from the darkness. So let's go ahead. Army of the Shenandoah. We're going to detach B Jr. with Pemberton's guns, okay? We're going to detach. Boom. And he'll be under... Yeah, we'll get... No. Let's get... Whiting in on the action here. I know. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it yet. Okay, let's assign that. He'll have B Jr. as the Department of Frederick, or Department of Maryland. Okay, we'll call it that. All right. All right, and we'll do Army of the Shenandoah will transfer also Pemberton's guns there, okay, to the Department of Maryland under Whiting, and the rest under Joseph Johnston with the reinforcements incoming. And as a matter of fact, we're going to give, we'll give Lawton's cavalry. Okay, Johnston and the rest of the army is going to come south like we talked about. Okay, we're going to leave Whiting up there. We're going to bring Johnston back. Force the march. Go. And then both of these armies, like we talked about, we're going to slam into the Federals that are left up here near Alexandria. Have ourselves a battle around there. Now, important, okay? We're making some strides here, and it's good. We need to look at the overall strategic situation. I need to dial in on one thing in particular. The men fielded right now. All right, they've got us just about almost 2-to-1. They've got us in Navy tonnage by a ton, by a lot. However, our experience, our military experience is better than theirs. Again, only by 5 still. We're up on them by 5. That's good. That means across the board our troops are just a little bit more experienced with fighting battles. We've got them outpaced in casualties, but we need to do a little bit better. We need to kill more of them, and they need to kill less of us. See here, European relations are all the way over at 10. I'm not sure why it shows this all the way over like this. What does this show here? Yeah. European nation, you will need a major victory on the battlefield, 100% probability to provoke Europe to intervene. Yeah, on the top bar, you will have more detailed information about the probability of intervention. Yeah, okay, so I think it's only 10%. I think it's only ever going to be 10%, but I don't understand why this is way over here like this. It's a weird one. All right, we're back in the orange right here. We're coming back to here. Boom. Okay, these boys under Robertson head to Knoxville. And we'll take them on a train over to the Cumberland Gap. Go ahead. And that's just a cavalry force that's going to keep an eye right here. And again, we still got McClellan to deal with. All right, I need to look at my list and see where maybe I missed some stuff. Okay, we did the blockade, and we reviewed that. Oh, here we go. So here was something I needed to make sure I pointed out, okay? We got a finances review that I wanted to do right here, okay? Here you can see 272 underwater. It's not great. You can see we're spending a lot on supply depots. Our forts are costing us a ton. That's what's costing us our money right now. Army upkeep is about to cost us a lot more. Navy upkeep will be costing us more soon. We are getting more from both sales tax and tariffs now, which is good. I feel like I want to bring tariffs up a little further to 25.5% and bring sales tax all the way. Got to do it for the war effort, baby. Got to do it. See what we got in the chat. So yeah, by the way, diplomacy is going to be a big focus. I'm going to talk about that here in just a second after we get through this. I want to try and increase my economy subsidies eventually, but for now, I think this rate at 4.99 million is going to help us because our economy is going to need all the help it gets in the form of our markets that are already open, and we've got a number of them. We need how much subsidy funding? 2.5 million per time that we unlock this. We currently have it at 1.4. So if we do nearly 5 million per annum twice per year, we should be able to hit the market reform project and increase the effectiveness of our various markets around the map. Okay, now let's get on, and that was just something I wanted to cover. I think that's kind of where I'm going to focus. This improved credit rating is something I definitely want to do somewhere down the line, but I feel like I'm going to need for my government funding policies to be down the road a bit. We're going to need for those economic subsidies to kind of be up in order to actually consider this a realistic goal. I think something that helps us a little bit more in the shorter term, and the shorter term is where we got to think is the CSA in large part, because we got to try to win the war between 1862 and 1863, or we're going to probably be fighting a downhill or an uphill battle, so to speak. But the other thing was to address what you were talking about right there in policies, which is, okay, military 2, conscription, diplomacy 2, or back over to government funding 2. One of those, that's kind of where I'm thinking of going. We need to get this diplomacy funding going because we need to get either Austrian rifles or British rifles. This is one where I'm going to toss it to the chat, guys. So let's read about our British rifles. How are these? Make a deal with the British to import their latest service small arms. This is the pattern Enfield made in Britain. Very accurate. And the Enfield musketoons for cavalry, as well as the Whitworth rifle, could be considered the world's first proper sniper rifle, okay? The Whitworths are fantastic. Problem is we're going to have to wait a good deal longer for those British rifles, okay? We need 5 million. We're not even close. We got 880,000 so far. Next would be, should we do instead, like we were kind of talking about toward the beginning of the campaign, leaning into the Austrian rifles, okay? Service small arms, the Augustin muskets and the Lorenz rifled muskets, okay? These are a little out of style. I wouldn't say they're obsolete necessarily, but they were used kind of more in the conflicts in Europe around the 1848 uprisings in Germany and such. So I don't know what you guys think about that. We'll see. But that's what I'm going to decide between British rifles and Austrian rifles. Ooh, we got a little mud march going on over here. Probably should have let these guys... probably should let them take the train back. We're not so linked to this supply depot. Noticing that. But we're kind of, at this point, the campaign waits on our attack here. I believe that's probably what's going to be coming very, very next. That and this move out this way. Not quite done with that depot just yet. Fine. I'm actually a little surprised that they haven't done anything with the Department of the West yet. We're 2 weeks away now, and I see no movement from this huge army here. Meanwhile, the Army of Arkansas continues its retrograde movement back to Fort Smith. We're making our way north with the Ragin' Cajun Squadron. I don't see any Yankee navies causing trouble anywhere. Yeah. Okay, we got folks weighing in on that now. Talking about doing French weapons. Well, with the Confederacy having provided military assistance to France in its invasion of Mexico, so we haven't quite gotten there yet. I don't think the French have done it yet. I can't remember, honestly. The French are now willing to strike an export deal of their weapons for use to the Confederacy. The French Minet rifle is a good all-around service rifle, while Cannon Arbusier de 12 is the gun howitzer known as the 12-pounder Napoleon in America. So we end up getting 12-pounder Napoleons and this French Minet rifle, which is kind of, I think, like an equivalent to the Springfield rifled musket, so to speak. I'm not real excited about that, to be honest with you. Prussian weapons. Now these would be, as they'd say, you call that, these would be the ticket. All right. At 13 million. We'd have to wait until 1863 or further. How much are we spending in? Yeah. So it would take almost 3 years to get there. But the Drace needle gun, a breech loading rifle to use a bolt action to open and close the chamber. Okay, the problem is that it would be stupid for us to get these most likely because we can't produce enough ammunition in order to feed them. And we probably would only be able to use them for a few units. So I don't think it could be a real good standard frontline rifle for us in any case. I know we love alternate history here, but we can't go AK-47s in the hands of Civil War mid-19th century economy soldiers. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work, guys. Yeah. So there was the other one. So I liked that somebody brought that up. Is Confederate rifles. Okay. This would be another one with our military subsidy funding that I might want to go for. Problem is, I might also like to go for this. This will allow us to start producing 12-pounder Napoleons as a frontline cannon, as well as availing us to the 1-pounder Williams gun, as you can see here. And I'm really interested in producing, like, scattering some batteries of those, maybe around our fort locations. I'm not sure. Probably want to put it into our actual armies, as we go. But this Williams gun and the 12-pound Napoleons would be, I think, very useful for us. Boom! We've got Cajun Millet in with a $10 donation in a super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Have a good night, brother. Thank you for being in tonight. I thank you very much. Yeah, okay. French invade Mexico in 1863. Good. We kind of are, Plumber Jack. I appreciate you on that. We are kind of like, we try to incorporate like a plausible role play element to what we do here on Alternate History Gaming. So I think going with those British rifles indeed may end up being like, that's what I love playing this game for, is they did such a great job researching every little facet and incorporating into a gameplay system every little facet of the different things in the war. And if you play your cards right, you end up with some really neat kind of here's a reason why they built the Merrimack or the Virginia in Norfolk. There was a blockade here that was choking off all of the trade, like it's doing now in game. I've got every reason to do exactly what they did in history. I love that. I absolutely love that about what we got going on right here. Same thing for like what we're talking about kind of in a LARP sense with those using those British rifles, right? They're kind of the most effective and gettable rifle. They're the best ones that there are going to be on the market for us. And also that Enfield musketoon, that is a hell of a cavalry weapon. And like you're talking about there in the chat. And so, like, probably going to go with that, just like they did in history too, because it was a smart move for them to do. And then I did see there was a chat about getting into a battle. We're getting there. We are getting there. Do not you tarry. Do not you fret. Do not you worry. We are getting there. Let's get the Army of Tennessee back in position down this way. They should have gotten their reinforcements by now. They did. And they're going to be up to 25 guns soon enough. Okay. Militia Act is going to pass. Militia Act 2 for us here before too much longer. And by the way, it's kind of a slow roll. I do a lot of commentary in my videos. For those who haven't been on the live stream, oh, here we go. What are they about to do? What are they about to do? Looky here. Department of Maryland, we're defending. We are scouting. We'll go ahead and retreat here if we need to. And I'm fascinated at what's going on here. I think we're going to let them do what they're going to do right here. I'm guessing they want to protect these iron supplies and they're going to come after us, is what I'm guessing. Let's see. They're taking the train for here, and then we're going to go into nighttime. All right, we're getting out. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, they didn't want us. They didn't want us sucking out those iron mines, did they? Damn. Okay, well, we'll get out of there, and that's fine. If they want to come across here, I'm willing to let them, but now the road to Washington seems like it's almost wide open. I'm going to take Beauregard in the yellow right here, and we're going to go to Alexandria. We're going to go take the train. Boom. We're going to take the Army of the Shenandoah and do the same darn thing. Boom. Take the train. Go. Holy smokes. Oh, thank you, Helic. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. Yes, we've got more and more. The algorithm has found us, and people are joining in. It's fantastic. So now they're going to go back. Now they're going to go back to D.C. after they see us, I think, or hear about us moving this way. Maybe they'll stop here. This is a really interesting situation we got moving here. Okay, they got off the trains. And now they're going to move north and west. What are they doing? What are they doing, guys? Okay, we got one army that's got to march because we don't have enough rail capacity, right? We're over our limit. Don't see McClellan again yet. That's kind of strange. All right, now they're moving. Ooh, they didn't take our depot. Let's abandon this one. Go. Let's get rid of it. We don't need it. Matter of fact, I'm thinking we don't really need to have this depot here. I hate that I started it. Let's go ahead and let's get this force on the move. Let's raid. Let's be on defensive. Let's go. Let's go. Up to Fort Scott. Not that way, though. Up here. Not that way, though. That's funny that they're trying to take that way. Let's go to here. I don't want to go that way, though. Could we just go... No, I don't want to go that way. Can we not cross here? What the heck? All right, well, we need to get them across this ferry. Quick, quick. Go, go, go. Double time. And we'll go river movement. There we go. That's what does it. Bang. Got it. So we just have to take ships across there. That's fine. We'll take a few hijacked ferries. We'll use a few canoes. We'll use a few Indian canoes. Not sure what they're doing here. Not sure what they're doing because the Army of Virginia is about to... Ooh, here comes the Army of Potomac. How much they got? It's hard to see when they're moving. 22,000 troops? I say we schedule an attack on Washington. And we schedule it for July the 18th. With both armies. Like usual. Boom. On July the 18th. Go. Alright, and we're going to have the Army of the Shenandoah take the train. We're going to hit the Army of the Potomac just outside D.C., boys. Here we go. Yep, I agree. Yeah, that's something I'm going to be doing. We're going to get across out west here, and we're going to try to go take these trade nodes on and raid them. Raid them. But right now, boys, we're going to be looking at... right. Now we can have some fun, gentlemen. The Army of Tennessee. You know that's what I'm thinking of first, by God. You know that's what I'm thinking of very first. Let's do a little stop-start on the recording real quick. Confederacy calls for volunteers, 2-year contracts. Congress sanctions further enlistment. States forming new regiments. Excellent. Okay. So we'll wait on that to happen. Okay, here's the trouble. All right, my guess is they're going to get support from one of these two armies up here. Okay, we're going to have to continue fending them off. Looks like we're doing just fine. Keep retreating, keep withdrawing. That's fine. It's overnight. We're pausing. Boom. Before we get to that battle, we have got work to do with the Army of Tennessee, gentlemen. All right, now, we need to form a new division. We will have it be under Zollicoffer, sure. We will have new brigades. Oh, beautiful. Okay, we got a lot more troops again. This is fantastic. Let's bring them up from Alabama. A infantry brigade of 2,250 men for 1.3 million is good for me. We're going to give them a uniform that looks like so. We'll let these guys, let's have these guys be Zouaves, huh? The Alabama Zouaves, as if those would exist. Okay. We don't want Jeff's, which reminds me of something we're going to need to do. Ooh, excuse me. Wow, he is extremely famous. We are going to replace him for sure with a professional infantry commander, Richard Garnett. Let's assign him. Colonel Garnett. Now another brigade from... look at all these troops in the Indian Territory, Nica and New Mexico and Cuba. Wow. Oh, I am so tempted. Let's go Tennessee and Texas next. We'll go a Tennessee brigade of 2,250. They'll look real sharp. Like so. I like that. That's good. No, not Jeb Stewart. And by the way, let's do this. Let's replace him with let's get a political commander in there. Samuel R. Anderson. Right. Okay, let's do Lieutenant John C. Brown. Okay. With a political commander there. We're gonna hit pause on this real fast. And since Jeb is available again, and by the way, let's grab this. Oh, we can't do anything yet. They're orange. The Army of the Shenandoah. We need to take it's the Army of Virginia. We need to grab Adams with this cavalry division and replace him with none other than Mr. Jeb Stuart. Okay. And then I would also take Hood, Armstrong, Hawes, and put them all with Stuart as well. And we'll go with an early cavalry division. We'll get the cavalry out of the infantry brigades, or out of the infantry divisions, rather. I don't love it because, actually, you know what? I'm going to go back on that. I'm going to have Hawes stay. I'm going to have Armstrong with Ewell. And I know these don't look right. Hood is with Magruder. All right, we're going to keep it all the same because having those cav with the divisions is got built-in, baked-in morale buff. That's what you like to have that for. Let's see what we got in the chat right here. Yeah, I don't think that an invasion of Kentucky is actually going to be able to go off. We've got McClellan, I believe anyway, still in our way right here. We have yet to actually try to march up there and find out, but Gideon Pillow's army needs to continue to be reinforced. So we're going to give him another infantry brigade from Texas. 2,250. These boys will be Texans. Just like this. We'll go butternut and gray like butternut and gray like that. Butternut and blue. Let's do that right there. I like that. And who takes command of them? Adams. Colonel John Adams. He is a cavalryman, right? So we want to replace him. Professional infantryman. Bushrod Johnson. Let's do it. He's a 2-star. Promote him to captain. And assign him to command as a colonel here in Zollicoffer's division, which will be 6,700 strong. About 20,000 men in the Army now, 25 guns. The Army of Tennessee going to be waiting just a little while to get some new troops. We'll go ahead and add an artillery battery here as well. Let's do... Texas again. And we'll do a large one. All right. They'll be pretty basic dudes. Boom. Pow. Okay. It'll be 6-pounders to start with, but that's fine. We'll have 31 guns. That's fine, too. We'll probably get down to double B after all this. We'll need to get these mixed muskets upgraded to Springfield muskets. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, good. Okay, and that'll be the Army of Tennessee. And once we've gotten all of our weapons procurement done, that's kind of the priority right now, I'll say. Once we've gotten that done, oh, here we go. He's just gonna bypass us right here and get into Winchester. Okay. So we'll have to. We're gonna lose this manufactory again. Here we go. Army of Shenandoah is going to get in action in D.C. Offensive. Offensive. That's something I forgot to do. Guard. And guard. Oh, no! Oh, no! Whoa, 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 what? No, 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 no! Oh, I don't know why that's happening. Okay, stop. Stop. I guess he was going to go into the attack and decided to stop. Okay. We're going to stay on the move with these boys. All right, these guys need to get back. They're getting back, it looks like. That's strange. I guess we felt Joe Johnston didn't believe in his army's chances over here. All right, we're going to stay on an attack with Beauregard. And we're going to try to get Johnston to stop. Halt. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's going to march himself all the way to the red or the orange. So Johnston did not have enough confidence to drive home the attack here, it looks like. So we're going to be pulling Beauregard back. Everybody's coming back, I think. I think we got to pull back because now we're going to get pincered by two armies right here. I don't like the look of that. So we're going to have to pull everybody back now that that happened. Okay, we'll take the railroad for part of the way, and that's fine. That's pretty disappointing. Not sure what happened there. If any of... we've had the devs for the game in to watch the streams. Anybody wants to opine on exactly what happened there, technically speaking, I would love to know. All right, now we got the Army of the West ready to head north. Let's go 2 times. Don't worry about the river movement. You know what? That's a good point about the Austrian guns. All right, now we need to go military too. Bingo. It's a good point about the Austrian guns because we need guns sooner rather than later. I'll tell you what. See, yeah, I mean, I could attack here with just the one army under Beauregard. I'll tell you what. Let's halt. Beauregard has a change of heart. He got orders to go back with Johnston. He's going to stop, and he's going to take his own initiative, and Beauregard's going to attack. The thing I just don't love about that is that if he gets himself in the orange, he's going to trap himself up here. Or if he gets himself in the red, fighting a bloody battle here, he's going to be in the red, trapped, while this army here can come over and smash him. It'll be kind of a reverse. So, I'm sorry. I got to do the smart thing, guys. I got to do the smart thing and not the fun thing. I got to do the smart thing and not the fun thing. I apologize. I'm going to keep him moving. We'll say you just kind of hesitated there. Yeah, Johnston is very well known for retreating. That's true. All right, these boys need to start scouting. Can we do it yet? I guess we don't have enough troops, do we? All right, well, let's come on up to the Cumberland Gap. And we'll wait for the Army of Tennessee to reinforce. Their fort garrison here is suffering supply issues. So is ours, though. Yeah, they got plenty of stuff. They just don't have any forage. Not a big deal. Okay, over here, we are raiding maniacs. After we get into Kansas, we're going to start putting the herd on. All right, now here, we're going to blockade. Army of Arkansas goes to defense. Good, right near the fort. Let's go ahead and just get them closer. And hopefully we can be a nice little stopgap there. See them, looks like they're moving out of Springfield southwest some more. And again, do apologize, guys, for the fact that... let's take these boys out of Grafton and head back to Charleston. Or wait, actually, Yeah, we'll do that. We'll empty this out. We can't stand in the way of 20,000 men. That's just not going to happen. Just not going to happen. And that's just it. Maybe that was the thing. Maybe crossing over here meant that I had to start taking boats. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's what the problem was there. And so now we'll be back around Richmond. I would love it if they advance a little too far with one of these armies here. I'll just come back up to around Fredericksburg and we'll combine and try to hit them. I'm starting to think that Johnson perhaps needs a little replacement. Anybody? Mr. Joseph E. Johnston, sir? I'm not so sure about your leadership right now, sir. I like Brigadier General Robert E. Lee and his engineer corps. I at least like them to join the Army of the Shenandoah. No. Right here. Transfer them. Lee goes back to Richmond briefly. He's going to go to Richmond, and he's going to find out what's coming next for him. Big stuff, y'all. Big stuff. The Department of Maryland, we're going to transfer them to, they're going to get back into the Army of Virginia. The Department of Maryland transfers back to the Army of Virginia. Thank you much. Whiting is going to be relieved in favor of these brigades going to, let's go B Junior to McCulloch. Lawton goes to Stewart. Pemberton's artillery goes to Beauregard's artillery reserve. We'll do that. Bingo. Whiting loses his command for now. All right. Army of Virginia will be back, headed down to Richmond. Be up to close to 30,000 men in that army. And the other part was, that I guess is like kind of sort of good, is we could begin reinforcing. And as a matter of fact, what I may end up doing, instead of bringing Lee in as the Army commander, is to just combine the Army of the Shenandoah with the Army of Virginia? Question mark. I'm not sure yet. I'm not totally sure yet. Oh, that's right. We need to, did I, we need to do this. Music volume doesn't need to be quite so high. Sorry I kept that so high, guys. Yeah, so I agree. The only reason I brought everybody back to Richmond was to just get everybody back together. And so what we'll do is we'll do retrograde. We'll go back to Fredericksburg again. Okay? And we're going to take the railroad, right? No, let's wait on it. Okay. Now we are set here. Now let's go back with the railroad. Yep, go. The Army of the Shenandoah goes as well. And we'll guard this crossing right here, and we will take the railroad. Yes, everybody takes the railroad. Off we go there. Okay? Now, this depot needs to be emptied. And again, we're going to have to build another one that is probably like right around here. Making it through late July without any major battles so far. I thought we might have one here tonight, gentlemen. Up there near D.C. Didn't work out for us. Hey, we are getting a bunch of stuff. You can see this army can sustain itself. But we are going to head up here to Topeka. Off we go. We got a storm in the way of the Yanks right here. That's beautiful. Beautiful. And then here is where I was thinking more about the defense of New Orleans. And I'm thinking we go to military, and I think we need to start adding... Oh, here we go. Let's do a new fleet in New Orleans. All right, we're going to put the new ships we got. You boys here. The CSS Fulton, the New Orleans, the Arctic, the Huntsville, the Georgia. Flag Officer Lawrence Rousseau. Yeah, he looks pretty good. He's a volunteer. Buchanan's been disgraced, so we won't bring him back. But we're going to go with this. So we've got a new Navy down here to guard one of the most important cities of the entire South. Get on the move in the far west. Just keep that rally or the raiding going. That's another one is, let's go ahead. Why not? Since we can. We have many. So, so let's go with a new division, okay? And it won't be under Lee. It will be under a professional cavalry commander named John Adams, all right? And we will add a bunch more Cubans and Nicaraguans in cavalry units, 500 men a pop. They'll be in special, of course, regalia. Bingo. All right. And we'll have another unit with Cubans. Okay, they can look like that. That's fine. They'll have green on with gray. All right. Cavalry. Oh, that's why we can't do it. Yeah, okay, got it. These Cubans, that looks pretty good to me. Bingo. Okay, then we're going to do some New Mexico Territory troops, cavalry. Just like so. We'll have them be in red and blue. No, that's probably too much. Let's go butternut and white. I like that a little bit better. Can we? Yeah, we can't combine anybody. So we need to make sure that we have these commanders set right. There's a volunteer. There's another volunteer who's defamed. We will be replacing him with a professional cavalryman. Lloyd. Oh, by the way, can we do? Let's just do all ready for duty. Let's not worry about that. How about we do weighty? There he is! No suitable commander selected? What? Wait, why? But why? Promote. He's a colonel, lieutenant colonel? No, come on. All right. Okay, Army of the West. So since we're adding all these troops, their quality is going down. All right, I want Bartow replaced with Stan Wadey, damn it. Wadey. We can't do it? The heck. Okay, all right. I don't understand that. I don't know what's going on there. Marmaduke! We had guys wanting Marmaduke earlier, so let's do it. Marmaduke. Smith is defamed. We will replace him with a professional cavalryman. Benjamin Helm works for me. And George Smith, volunteer, he gets to stay, and that's just fine. Anderson's army now grows to over 4,006 guns. And what I want to do now is going to be a little bit annoying for folks. Actually, I won't do it just yet. I think we're going to wait until we make this move up to Topeka. And once we do that, we're going to start breaking off. We'll probably send the division, the larger force. Once it forms, we're going to send them up this way. The smaller forces are all going to begin raiding northern Missouri. We're going to split them off soon enough. All right, here we go. Back near Fredericksburg again. And I would say now that they're there like that, now, by God, we can get ourselves an attack going here. And we will wait until the Army of Shenandoah gets itself set. Joe Johnston needs to be replaced. I don't know. By the way, okay, so this is the way we do this now. Okay, we have a general who is up for review after some perhaps shameful acts in our advance on D.C. We do have to make up a decent story before we let a guy go, but I'm going to bring it up for a vote in the chat. What do we want to do with Joseph E. Johnston in the wake of what we've seen so far from him? And I am going to note for you the facts of the matter, and they are these. 1, his contribution to the very first victory for the Confederacy in the East near Fredericksburg, minimal. His contribution to the second very significant Confederate victory in the East near Winchester, minimal. He was a whole 24 hours late to the battlefield. P.G.T. Beauregard won it pretty much all by himself in that one. He lets us down on the advance to Washington. As Joe Johnston likes to retreat, you know that well. I'll leave it to you gentlemen to decide while I go refill my my mason jar of NA beer, as it were. Let's give it a little bit of time, let you guys get in the chat. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Talk to me in the chat and let me know what you think while I go get this refilled. We'll be right back to make that decision. And then I believe we're going to have a battle in the East coming up. Stay tuned. The cannons do the work. The idea is getting these guys out in front of our guns so that the guns can do most of the work. Fire. This is the latest video that I dropped today, as a matter of fact. A nice little battle here outside. It's our only choice. Appomattox, I believe. Check it out. This brigade, come on through. Go. Double time. Let's have a fight right here. Let's fight for just a little bit. French, get on up here with your men. This grove of trees. We can get that brigade to run off and then keep pounding away with our guns over on this side. That would be ideal. They're nervous right here. Nervous in the service. Fall back. All right, this brigade's going to switch. Come this way. Fire. Let's go ahead and stand up with these skirmishers. Come on down, fire. Okay, let's get these guns. Let's get them back here. Double time. We're broke. Firing over here, though. And we got guns on them. Good. We're getting flanked. Let's go ahead and turn the other way. Maybe. Maybe not. French is in here with these boys. They're going to come right up on us. We're going to be broke here in a minute. Let's charge them. Charge them. Get them out of there. As this battle reaches a climactic moment. Yes, sir. I think we might have broken right away right there. We're broken here, we're broken there. Okay. We got to get out of here with these guns now, too. Retreat. Double time, go. Okay, we still got troops in the town, and let's go ahead, retreat here. We'll have some troops hold sway in the town for a while. And then we're going to have to stay alive. So how did this work for us? Probably not well. Nope. Darn. Okay. So much for a tutorial, right? We're going to have to get out of here. Boop. We're going to retreat. That'll be the end of that. A loss, a defeat out here in the Shenandoah Valley. Center wing on the retreat. So, there you have it. Okay, Buchanan takes over for Isaac Stevens. And Sheridan gets promoted to division command after that battle. Wow. Wow. Deal. We got to finish up this fort. And we got to get the left wing of the army back to the headquarters as soon as we can. All right, boys. All right, boys. All right, boys. Let's get back to it. All right, yeah, I see all of your comments. Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you for, okay. Oh, my God. I've got to go. No, I can't pause it. Shoot. I got to get over to the west. I got to go over to the west. I'm sorry. We got to rectify something. It doesn't work really great for the role play. We need to. We've got Indian Union. Okay, we could replace with Wadey now, right? You can only do Indians. Yes! Boom! He's famous too. Chief Stan Wadey of the mighty Cherokee now takes his proper place. Can we do Tandy as well? Nope. Yeah. Tandy Walker. There he is. Wait, we gotta go back to the army. Here we go. All right, where are the rest of our... There we are. Tandy. Lunsford Lomax, we don't care about him. Tandy. Yes! Yes! I love it! Beautiful. Love that we have our... Okay, so those two, Wadey and Walker, I'm probably going to put in a little command on their own. We'll see what we get with that. We're going to wait till we get up to Topeka in this area here, start raiding up there. We'll see what we got. Over here. Okay, we get our army situated, and immediately Johnston is going to learn of his replacement. I think the vote is overwhelming. Jabberwock, I hear you there. All right, keep Johnson. Yeah, okay. I feel like maybe you're now a Union alt or something, a Union infiltrator. Are you trying to help us lose? No, I'm kidding. But Johnson, I'm afraid everybody wants him to take a hike. We got to replace him. Johnson, I'm sorry, my man. You, sir, will be replaced by none other than, you got it, Brigadier General Robert E. Lee. Let's get him in the action, boys. Okay, here we go. He doesn't have any cavalry right now. I don't want to make him a division within the Army of Virginia, or do I? I don't think I do yet. Okay, now. These guys, Lee takes over, gets the army the rest of the way, and we've got it, baby. All right, so now that we are here, where we are, I will pause. We're overnight. That's the only time I allow myself to pause the game. But we are going to take Lee. We're going to go the Army of Virginia taking the lead again against the Army of the Potomac, and we are going to march right up at them, by God. We're going to go here first. We're not going to worry about the we'll take the railroad. Go. And let's get that move done. We're going to get to Culpeper. Looks like the Department of Pennsylvania moved to here. Army of Northeastern Virginia, I have lost sight of. Army of Pennsylvania is now here. They retreated. They're in the red. Army of Northeastern Virginia looks like still around Winchester. Army of Virginia is going to make its move. So, for the Eastern armies, it's really, there is no depot. So, I tell you what, we were talking about this. We should have Engineer Lee, build us a new depot right there. Before we launch this attack, we're going to bring P.G.T. up here. We'll put him in defensive again. We'll get him scouting. And maybe he can be a nice little bit of bait. Maybe we can get both of these federal armies to move at us here. Have ourselves another little battle near the Rappahannock River. And send them to flight one more time in 1861. That may be what we get going here. I would say this too. The Army of the Shenandoah, before we let too many days slip by, because we're so far behind in troops, and we're going to have to, we're in a manpower race right now. We're going to have to let these guys keep their mixed muskets. We got to fight with mixed muskets. We got to live with it. This is life as the CSA under my command in this playthrough. I hope everybody can just live with it. Lee. Now, new division. Under Joseph Johnston, absolutely not. We need Whiting in command. And we'll have a new brigade out of South Carolina. Small one. And I like this uniform's fine. Pretty basic. And absolutely not. We will do a volunteer of suitable rank, ready for duty. Sure. Captain Joseph Walker, let's do it. He becomes a colonel. Another new brigade from Virginia. This one will be 2250. We'll go Gray and Butternut, and we'll be Virginia soldiers, like so. I like that just fine. We don't need to know Colonel Earl Van Dorn ends up in the east. I'm going to go with it. We'll do. Let's have a brigade of Nicaraguans in the east. Why not? We'll have 1,500 that look like that. Bingo. And they'll be led by not Joseph. Give Joe the Nicaraguans. No. We'll give him a political officer. Okay, yeah, we can't do that. There's nobody available. How about a volunteer? Nobody suitable rank? Okay. Professionals. Plenty of those. Okay. Lunsford Lomax. A cavalry commander. No, we can't do that then. Pemberton artillery. Let's put Pemberton in command of these guys. Boom. He'll be in command of some Nicaraguans in Whiting's division. I think we're going to have to call these guys the Nika Brigade. Okay, and then Whiting's going to add a little bit of artillery as well from Virginia. We'll make it a medium-sized battery. Boom. I like that right there. 6-pounders. And Lee will end up with close to 14,000 troops and 14 guns under his command. How about that? His readiness goes down to orange because of it. All right, so that's fine. We're working on the depot. That's all good. We might worry about there being a steamship that comes to here and, you know, getting flanked, but I'm not that worried about it. We're going to go defensive with Lee. On the road in the west. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah. I would say I think the decision is kind of made for us by its circumstance. I think you're right that we need the guns, and we need the guns sooner rather than later. And so we'll have to go with the Austrian Lorenz rifles. We got to get more guns quicker. And one thing that I am doing is, I think I have this. We want to go weapons. So I am ordering up a bunch of Plains rifles and a bunch of Mississippi rifles, right? But there are only 5,000 of them, and it's going to take quite a bit longer to do it. Okay, what I'm going to be really interested to see is where my standardization sits after this run. See, with the Mississippi rifle, we're already at 4. So that's actually pretty good. And I think that once we do one run of 5,000, our standardization will kind of go up a good bit, and then we could do maybe 10,000. And I want by mid to late 1862, hopefully we're still in the war by then, I would love to have most of my men fighting with the Mississippi and Plains rifles. And then have the 12-pounder Napoleon be probably our frontline artillery unit. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, are we empty here yet? Just about. Abandon it. Don't need it. Don't need it. So let's see. Where are we at overall troops now? Okay, we're a little closer to even. 107 to 71. Got it. Okay. Oh, you know what I think might have happened? Oh, they might have had one of their armies like disintegrate or something. Okay, well, they're moving south. I think that's pretty easy to see. And then you're worried about them moving south and around the flank. That's fair. Shoot. That's actually a really good thought. Let's go ahead. Let's think about this. I think I want to continue my movement up to here so that I can hop on the railroad quick if I need to. The problem is we've got something working here where Beauregard is taking his sweet-ass time getting across this ford. I guess that's a tough ford to get across for 30,000 men. I mean, that is the way that is. Not much you're going to be able to do about that, I do not believe. And I do appreciate everybody who jumps in and kind of offers encouragement about how my play style, and I let it kind of be a slow burn. That's much appreciated. Whoa, hey, I missed this. Helica with a gifted membership for Monkey Poker. Yeah, welcome to the club, Monkey. You're going to like it here. All us groggy nuts, we get down with some strategy. If they get the one thing that I really can't let them just get is this. We can still get iron imported, so there is that. If they take Richmond and all of this stuff, if they take Catherine Furnace, if they take of the foundries and things, yeah, that's going to be a problem. See, we're finally getting across this ford. Good. They haven't gotten all the way to Staunton yet. I would bet they'd need to build a depot somewhere along the way. Okay. I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to take Jeb. We're going to detach him again. And Joe Johnston can command him, sure. I'm just going to say sure. And this will be Jeb Stewart's cavalry. And what we'll do here is, I think, like the army is going to be going off of Johnson's stats, right? And, oh well. But we're going to do Jeb Stewart's cav, and we're going to send them by rail to here. We're going to get an eye out over there. And then I would say the Army of Virginia we need to reinforce. Let's go with... Can we combine any of these brigades yet? I don't think so. Yep, this one. We're going to give S.D. Lee more... Oh, no! He just lost his Mississippi Rifles. Well, we're going to have to deal with that. Although, we'll have more that we can give to another brigade that is comparable in size somewhere else. Those Springfield rifled muskets are good enough. Trapier is 2,300 men. Let's give them the Springfield muskets. You know what? We're going to have mixed muskets all around. We got Mississippi rifles with Wilcox. 1,300. Let's give these guys under Coke, right? What about Donald? Donaldson's actually kind of good. They've got Springfield muskets. Let's go ahead and go with Mississippi rifles right here. Bingo. Donaldson will have them now instead of S.D. Lee. We'll have 2 brigades of Mississippi rifles in this army. Ewell and Frost's divisions will be that much more potent as a result. Magruder maybe not so much as before. Let's add a division. All we've got are colonels. Shoot. That means Walton needs to be promoted to Major General. We're going to replace him with Lomax. No, not a colonel. Oh, no. We need another Brigadier General. So... Where's Walton? Walton. So we need to promote another guy to Brigadier General. We need to replace Coke. Bingo. We'll give him, let's go Lunsford Lomax. All right. Walton gets replaced by Coke. And then Bryan gets replaced by Walton. Bingo. Now, new brigade from Virginia. West Virginia. Let's do it. Infantry brigade with 1,500 men. And they'll be dark blue and gray. I like that right there. Boom. Mixed muskets. Walton's division. This will all be like newer troops. We'll bring some... No. I was thinking about it, though. Oh, shit. We got to bring troops in from Louisiana already. Let's bring a 3,000-man brigade in from Louisiana. We'll make them Tigers. You know it. Bingo. Let's go dark gray and dark red. Louisiana Tigers with their mixed muskets. All right, and then we're going to bring some more artillery in. Or rather, let's bring some North Carolina troops in. Infantry. 2250 is good. I like this right here. We'll do just kind of a regular, I think. Like that. Bingo. And we'll do battery or two of artillery. Let's bring them in from North Carolina. Well, we might want to do another brigade from there. Let's bring in from Maryland while we can steal them. They'll be dark blue. That's how we'll know that they're from Maryland. Let's make them as big as we can make them. 1, 2. Boom. 6-pounders for each, and that'll take quite a while. This division's not going to come together for a while. Beauregard goes up to close to 36,000 troops and 57 guns. And that's going to have to be plenty, I think. 14,000 here. Jeb's troopers are on their way. We continue with a kind of a war of maneuver. We need to do something decisive before long. We need to hit this army. I want to find out how things look down here. I want to take a peek. Let's go defensive scouting. See what we got. It's yeah, the fort and the gap. It's coming. It's coming. Well, here we are, a little bit more history in game, fellas. I like this stuff. Crittenden-Johnson resolution, a bill to preserve the Union. No action against slavery. Bill passes almost unanimously. The 37th United States Congress has passed almost unanimously the War Aims Resolution, July 25th. This so-called Crittenden-Johnson resolution defines limited conservative goals for the Union effort during the Civil War. In the background of this resolution is Lincoln's fear of further slave states seceding. Although the bill makes no mention of slavery, the resolution intends that the Union government will take no actions against the peculiar institution of slavery. This could retain the loyalty of the Unionists in the slaveholding border states. For this reason, Pennsylvania Congressman and abolitionist Thaddeus Stevens has abstained from voting on the measure. The House voted in two parts, with the first passing the House with a vote of 121 for and 2 against. The second part passed the House 119-2. On July 25th, the Senate rejected the two-branch division and passed the entire resolution 30-5. All those who voted against are rumored to be facing expulsion for taking up arms against the United States. Yes, well, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. All right. Gentlemen, I don't see a lot of activity here. Stewart's going to keep an eye out. So I'd say we are going to be in the clear to attack the Army of the Potomac. I really believe it. So let's switch to an offensive posture here with Lee as well. Let's get Lee across and in front of Johnston for starters. Go. And then we will make the attack. Get ourselves another battle here as we wrap up July. And if we can send them, if we can hurt them bad, that'll be real good. Hopefully it doesn't take us a whole long time to get across this river over this way, god dang it. Okay. I like the way we're looking up here. We're going to be at a point with the Army of the West where we're going to begin breaking off. And I'm just going to see, honestly, I have no idea how this strategy is really going to work for us. We're going to have the rest of summer and early fall, I think, to just have everybody out raiding. We'll see. It's going to be a little annoying over here in the unit panel because we're going to have so many little detachments. We're going to probably stop building that depot after we get across the river here. Let's actually revert to defensive. That way we can recover readiness more quickly. These boys, same thing. Keep scouting. It's an army of 2,000 bushwhackers up here. They've got a perk. So we need to do with these guys like partisan brigades, I think. Skirmishing efficiency, okay, moves in their rear, making this unit good at distracting the enemy. Rating morale hit on enemies is plus 10%. Okay. Skirmishing efficiency plus 25%. Let's do that. Partisan brigades. I like that. Very well. Still triple B minus in here, gentlemen. I'm certainly happy with that. What's our latest economic? Construction of the Murfreesboro Hospital. Bingo. Triple B minus is still good. Debt increased by 50 million. Currently liabilities at 260. Current economy cycle is still expansion. Tax revenues went down. Damn. Hey, our trade deficit, it's not too bad. Down on corporate production. Don't love that. The economy lacks iron, coffee, food. And yeah, we've got a ton of wood. That is something right here that I was actually going to look at. And that is shortages and oversupply. All right, check us out. We have wood. We got wood. We got wood, everybody. Lots of it. We're sending a ton of it out on the market, I do believe. Boom. We're making 1.6 million on tariffs of that. Okay, cool. Trade volume's only 9.9 thousand. That is fascinating. But we have a ton out in markets, pretty much, out floating around. So what that means is our naval development is going to need to focus on units and ships that are made out of wood, that use mostly wood to be made. And what I would say about that is most of what we have available. So what are the high wood count ships? So the second rate steamer. All right, that's it's got 9 guns, the Phoenix. Okay, we don't need much else for those. We could make we could need a size port 2 right there. So we could start producing a bunch of these. Let's go build. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. Bingo. Let's do other ships that cost a lot of wood. Steam frigate? No. To paddle steamer gunboat? No. Frigate? CSS United States? No, we don't care about all this. Here we go. A double ender. Actually not bad. Takes a lot of ammo. Let's do 3 of these. 8 guns apiece. Boom. So let's just add to our Navy a little bit here. We could build another fleet or 2. And then let's do 1 sloop of war. Or 2 of these. And hopefully this just doesn't crash our credit rating. We might have, you know, fleets that are kind of like raiding fleets out along the coast. We're just going to get ready for that. While I knew that we had a ton of wood, I wanted to try to get that going. Taking us a while to get across that. Sheesh. So, things are... Let's see here. Let's have Stuart's Cav come north to Newmarket. Just take another peek. The big activity we're going to have here shortly is the organization of all this, and we're just going to flood the area. Woo, baby! They're going to be scared of us in Missouri out there. I believe it. So the Department of the Ohio is still 20,000 men. Army of the Potomac, 23,000. Army of Northeastern Virginia is down to 7,500 men. Wow. Army of the Mississippi down to 3,100. Wow, they must have suffered some major attrition or something. I wonder what that's about. We've got 2 different Department of the Ohio strength reports. It's 17 and 20,000. Not sure. Not sure. Pillow, yep, on defensive. He's going to be up near 20,000 soon enough. Very good. Okay, I'm gonna budge on this, okay? Because it's a good idea. Bingo. Building the fort, that's gonna be another 12 million. That will take us into double B for sure. I'm almost positive. It'll take us another couple of days to get across the river here, it looks like. Okay, Jeb Stuart's cavalry is not seeing anything in the valley here. Interesting. Interesting, gentlemen. We have these bushwhackers go, let's go make a fuss up somewhere, huh? Let's go up near Marietta. Let's head up to Grafton again. Okay. Double time, go. Got 72,000 men fielded now. We'll have that. That number is going to go up quick soon enough. And then we can't go without paying a little attention to the Army of Arkansas. I would say we add a couple of reserve brigades. Let's go up to Arkansas. Let's get 1,500 men. Boop. Boom. Just like that. They'll have their crappy rifles. We'll go Missourians right here. We could do Big Brigade. Make sure they've got their gray like so. Yeah, we'll have them look like that. Okay, Kemper. Colonel James Kemper is a political guy. I'm good with that. Another political guy, Francis Bartow. Wow. If we got political commanders, I'm not going to replace him. That's kind of an RP thing we'll go with there. Let's add to McClaw's division another battery of artillery from Missouri. Let's go. Bing, boom, pow. Now that right there with like that. Perfect. 6-pounders. Okay. All right, boys. Here we go. It's what we've all been waiting for. What I've been waiting for. Here we. Okay, they're going to take a little longer. They're going to get there soon enough. We'll see the message pop up over here. Yeah, sorry to make everybody wait on the main action we want out east here. My God, everybody's taking too damn long to march. I don't love how low our readiness is either, to be honest. This is a big campaign map stream tonight, gentlemen. Do appreciate everybody's tuning in tonight, man. Don't forget, click that thumbs up button for me. Helps the algorithm find us. If you're new tonight and you love what you're watching right here, subscribe to the channel. I'm Bank60s, and this is Alternate History Gaming. Don't forget, consider becoming a member. For $2 a month, you join in as a recruit level member. You get some badge, emotes. You get the color change in the chat so I know who you are. But then you get up to that $5 a month membership. And now you're talking exclusive access to members-only videos, including my Battle Epic series in Scourge of War. You're a fan of 19th century black powder combat action at the regimental and battalion level? Your $5 a month is going to get you far. I've got over 30 hours of battle gameplay for you. Full Battle of Antietam, full Battle of Waterloo, both the Allies and the French. Ligny as kind of a quick highlight cut of a full army battle. Chancellorsville, bit of an alt result. I went with that, but it was a whole lot of fun. I have Stones River. Right now I'm doing 7 days in Scourge of War. That's going to become a battle epic in the future, and members only at one point. But that's what $5 a month gets you. And by the way I'm putting that too is pay $5 for 1 month to binge them all and then drop your membership. I don't even care. I don't even care. Just appreciate your support and appreciate you taking the time to watch some of that content, because that battle epic stuff is kind of my early content creator career, starving artist passion project type stuff. So if you watch that, I would love it. All right, let's get Wadey out in a unit all by himself. He'll be under the command of Major General Ransom Jr., a cavalryman. That's just fine. It'll be the Waties war band. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll go to transfer. Boom. We want to go Army of the West. We're going to put Tandy Walker in there. All right. We're going to do that transfer. Then we're going to take Sibley, detach him under Major General Danville Ledbetter. This will be Sibley's Indian Cav. All right. Boom, boom. No. Sibley's Indian Cav. Like that. All right. And then we go to transfer here. And we're going to go to back to the Army of the West. And this time, we're going to have Major in here. All right. 2 units here. Okay, we'll complete that transfer. I think that's all I'm willing to go with in terms of splitting them out. Wade's Warband is going to head east. And we're going to go right there. Okay, force the march. Good. Let's raid, gentlemen. And Sibley's Indian Cav is going to move to up here. Do it. And raid, gentlemen. Raid, raid, raid. And then the Army of the West is going to march with the rest of its troops. Oh, okay, we're in the orange, and so we can't move right now. We'll have to do a little recovering there. The Army of the West gets in the defensive. Fine. Good. That is all good. Oh, my God. Lee is floundering in the Rappahannock River right now as he tries to get his men across. We're running into bad luck. Running into some real bad luck in game here. Interrupting all of our operations thus far. It would appear even a storm is on its way. Nope. Okay, that's over here. No big deal. All right, with the Army of the Northwest, let's bring this back to medium here. Okay, let's go ahead and let's use the storm and let's take the railroad. Double time railroad, go defensive but raid, and we're gonna go raid over here near Marietta, Ohio. Raid, 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 raid. But yeah, would just love for the Army of the Shenandoah to get a move on, for crying out loud. It is tough to get across that river. Jiminy Christmas. Lee did have a perk to pick, but I might not have done anything about it yet. He does! Oh, well, let's do this. Pontoon train. Movement speed across small rivers. This isn't really a small river. Maybe it is. I don't know. Which pontoon bridges are used to quickly cross rivers with all the equipment the Army carries. Okay, let's do it. I want to do it and see if it works. We'll have to test it. See, they're still going. Bingo. Maybe it was paused that whole time. I don't know. It just doesn't look like he's moving anywhere. Look at him. What are you doing down here, buddy? They're just not even moving. There they go. Beautiful. Whew. They popped over the other side at long last. Okay, I think we really need to get aggressive over here, and I think we need to move into the attack. We'll let Lee finish his move. And then with the Army of Virginia, we're going to take the train in. Okay. We're going to get to an attack posture. We're going to scout with the Army of the Shenandoah under Lee. We're going to time an attack for August the 1st. We're going to target these boys, and we're going to crush them. All right. Probably have to do it August the 2nd. So, boom. August. Nope. August 2nd. All right, go. Army of the Shenandoah. August 2nd. All right, and we're going to go. We're going to go on that. And it's now taken a long time for him to get his orders. Not sure about that. But we should get those orders in before August 2nd. Should be good to go. Hey, wait. Oh, officer rehabilitated. Let's take a look, shall we? Do we have... Oh, hey, James Archer is in. Where is Stonewall? Is he back? Jackson. Jackson. Where is Jackson? He's back. Oh, wait, nope. It's still wounded. Wait, okay, so he's not ready for duty. Okay, never mind. Who's been rehabilitated? Zollicoffer, whose previous failures is... Okay, got it. Okay. That's why we put him in control of a division over in the Western Army, right? Okay. Yeah, we should get these orders in time. Hopefully we begin moving smartly. Here we are. Handling a little light raiding over here. Very good, very good. Very good indeed. Beauregard needs another perk. No way. I thought I already gave them a perk. Oh, they got another one. Sweet. Okay, what are we going to do now? Expert scouts. Level up by scouting. Bureau of Military Intelligence, no. Siege train, no. Field telegraph wouldn't be bad. I'm going to do Ambulance Corps. I always like to do that. Kind of right off the bat. Army of the Potomac. Hopefully going to see its doom. Oh. Raid. And now the Army of the West can move and raid. Let's go, boys. All right. Raid. Wade's Warband. Come on down here. Go. We're not able to take Leavenworth. We don't have enough guys. Pretty sure. Now, hang on a minute. I'm telling him to raid. And the order comes in and then it reverts back to idle. What is that about? Is it because they're out of supply or something? Huh. That's a little lame. Okay, we're moving. Lee is in the lead. Army of Northeastern Virginia is pulling back. Lee is jumping out front. Eek. He is a faster mover, so that just kind of is what it is. We'll be on the attack here, I'm pretty sure. The Army of Virginia will be coming in behind. Lee, kind of a recon in force with the Army of the Shenandoah out front. 8,500 men. Interesting setup right here. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Bingo. Excellent. It'll be 9 hours before everybody gets on the field. We'll have them outnumbered by a little bit. We'll be outgunned. We'll have them outgunned and outcalved by a good little bit. P.G.T. Beauregard will be in command of Confederate forces on the field. Gentlemen, holy snaps. This is going to be a big battle. Let's get everything in the frame right here for the video. Later on down the road, of course, we've got probably like the Battle of Bull Run or Battle of First Manassas, Battle of Centerville, something like that, as we advance against the Union Army of the Potomac here in Northern Virginia once again. We'd love to just keep punching these guys in the mouth, drive them out of Virginia one by one. Let's start this battle. Who we got? William Keim, the head of the Army of the Potomac. He's a major general, passive initiative guy. So if he's on defense, he's just going to sit there. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Let's get in it. Here we go, boys. Okay, Battle of Alexandria. I think we could probably call it that. 30,000 men under Major General Keim and two armies that are both going to be getting on the field. We'll have near 40,000. This is going to be a real good action right here, gentlemen. This is going to be great. I regret to inform you that we're probably only going to be able to get to the detailed deployment tonight, I'm afraid. Bedtime will call, as it does for your humble and gracious player host. But I will try to get through into the set piece here tonight and then work our way into the battle itself in the next stream. And I may have to preclude our 7 days scheduled stream so that we can get straight to this battle. We'll see. Scouts report enemies near Virginia Army Potomac under stream. William Keim, strength 23,18. Yep. They are green, but they are eager. Our Army's supply state outstanding. Fantastic. So, yeah, it's 19:30 at night, right? I would say that we're just going to make it to, with our 8,500 men under Lee, we're probably just going to get straight on the road. With everybody. Here's Robert E. Lee. And we'll just bring everybody up to the crossroads here at least. Lee, let's scope out a decent defensive position, probably on Robinson's house, this kind of Henry House Hill area here. He could get his army set between this creek and this road, right? So let's go ahead. I think we'll call that our initial kind of setup here, and we'll wait for nightfall to bring the rest of the deployment. But we do want to try to get the army out pretty far forward if we can manage it. So let's bring Lee right up there. Bingo bongo. Here we go. Yes, Battle of Alexandria. Yeah. I am so sorry and disappointed about the idea that it's past my bedtime, but let me tell you guys, this old man past his bedtime tonight. Look, we got two battles in the last stream, huh? We got two battles in the last stream. Two critical battles in the last stream. So if we had a lot of campaign play to do, I guess this was the stream for it. We'll have a big battle to play on the next stream, though. You can count on that 20 times. And we'll be going to 2,100 hours, pretty sure. It is evening time. I don't believe we're going to have to worry a whole lot about Union resistance up around here. They're going to be set up around the victory location. No big deal. Get ourselves in position here. Our deployment zone for Beauregard's troops is going to be different than our deployment zone for Lee's in the morning. We'll have to get Beauregard up and consider our options. All right, there we go. End of day. Hey, we get lucky. We get lucky, and our deployment zones are connected. Fantastic. So, gentlemen, here we go. Okay, Walton has himself a division with 0 men, so we're going to keep him back at Groveton for starters. Okay, Magruder, let's get him out. Frost, get him out. Ewell, we're starting to remember the names of the guys. Let's get him out. And McCulloch, Beauregard's likeness and presence. So we know that they are going to be up around here. First of all, of course, there would be discussed the idea of a flanking march up around the hill here. I think this is Oak Hill. And then attack down these 2 roads. 1, 2. Leave one force here, flank with everybody else, and fight a battle here. Get across the stone bridge eventually through these woods, attacking the victory location that way. Is what I'm thinking. I don't know what you guys think. Oh, that's right. We have these brigades too. So I would say we end up putting probably the reserve here, right? So let's have Winder's guns. Let's have Randolph's Parrott rifles. Okay. At 0600. There's the stone bridge. Let's go boom. Why can't they see? That's so weird. Okay, they can. That's a little buggy thing, I think. So yeah, they'll be able to, those Parrott rifles will be able to see all the way across. Good. See, Winder. They can see all the way across there. Perfect. We're going to just place these brigades up here to get them forward. All right. Hampton with his Mississippi rifles is the perfect unit to put right by the bridge. Gratiot is not a good unit to put up near anything, but the Enfield rifled muskets, those would be good to put right there. Gratiot will be up here. And I think we'll have kind of our reserve here. We'll put... So Lee's troops are going to lead the flanking column, I think, is what we're going to do. We'll put McCulloch in defense again. on this side of the river. Let's bring Frost back. Let's go McCulloch over here. Let's go line. And let's try to get specific with it. And we'll put skirmishers out with it. Just like that. Let's go ahead. Let's push forward a bit here. Do kind of like that. These units will be there like that. That's good. Okay, then everybody else is going to be ready for this flanking march. Boom. Okay, don't worry about cover. Boom. Go there. Lee will start his march kind of around here. Magruder will start his march. Everybody kind of goes across Sudley there. Try to get this right. They'll be a little crowded over here. Fine. Ewell will be here. Beauregard will be sending all the orders, but he'll be over here with these troops, I think, to help. And as a matter of fact, let's take B Jr. and let's just have him be right here. This defense, I like the look of it just a little bit better being like this. And then we will push across, around, up this way and around, and down the spine of the ridge with all these woods as cover for the attack. We'll push everybody up and around, I think, is what we're going to do with this next battle. We've got some entrenchment points we can use. Breastworks right in here, I do believe. Yes, right there. Boom. Thank you. Right at the stone bridge, and then we'll do another little one right at the ford right here. Like so. Bingo. All right, have a decent defensive position right there, and we'll be attacking with the rest of the army here. All the way around, hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him. And I want to believe that this is going to go off as we plan, boys. Yes, I know. Jackson misses Bull Run. Holy crap. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? And I'll tell you what, guys. I think we're going to leave it at that for tonight. I want to say thank you again to everybody, man. You guys are the best. This is so much freaking fun. Here we are with the next major battle just about to happen as our Confederate campaign continues here in Grand Tactician. Guys, once again, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for me. Remember to hit the notification bell to find out the next time I drop a stream or video for you. And I will be releasing new videos of my past Union campaign in chronological order as we continue on, and we'll catch up with Confederate videos. All of you who catch the live stream and the VODs, you'll be the ones to see the raw product first. So be proud of yourselves for that. I am Bank 60s, your humble and gracious player host, thanking you once again for taking the time. You guys are all the best. We'll see you.